All right, we're back again with another Moonkin Monthly. This month we are joined by Soranan, and as always, we got Nick Druid. Soranan, give us a little bit about yourself.
Hi, I'm Thornton. I'm a raider in Wildcard Gaming. That's pretty much it.
Are you gonna be streaming Prague this tier?
Yeah, I will. Yeah, I'm streaming Frog.
Ooh.
Russian.
What, first race, huh?
Oh yeah.
Are you going for it?
No.
World first day raid?
Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, and then we got Nick. Nick, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Nah. Dream Growth mod, as usual. Not streaming this raid, sadly. But who knows, maybe the next.
All right, and as always, I'm Tettles, also Dreamgrove mod. I guess Mythic Method World First Race caster. That's a thing, I guess. Raider and AK, Moonkin player. I guess we're all Moonkin players, so that's a given.
Moonkin one trick, you mean?
Alright, yeah, whatever, I'm sorry. This sucks. Alright, and then we got Patreons. We got Pixel, Hamflaps, Mr. Sliggy, Tiggs, Gesu, Krona, Nevernude, and Solanus. Big ups to all you guys. Mad Preesh. Alright.
Yeah.
So, I want to talk about the World First Race. So I'm actually flying out to London Monday. So currently it is Saturday that this is being recorded. So Monday I'm flying out to London, and I'm going to cast the Method World First Race. So regularly scheduled programming will be delayed for a little bit, as I am not home and not available to edit any of these videos. But I do plan on making Mythic kill videos at some point and trying to assist people in deciding what they should be doing for their Mythic kills. Nick is going to be providing a decent amount of footage, I think. Right, Nick?
Yeah. I'm
Okay,
trying to record every mythical, at least.
So you're going to be recording a lot of footage. I may or may not be raiding. I think at this point it looks like a probably not, but I anticipated myself raiding initially. But at this point, I think it might be a no. However, I might be raiding and streaming from the Red Bull Gaming Sphere, so I don't know. So we'll see what that's like. So, with that out of the way, let's talk about the Battle for Dazar'alor. Pretty big patch that was released recently. We got a new raid. We got some new things to discuss. So, what is good about Balanced Druid and BOD? So, first off, Sornan, give us your thoughts about this. What are you thinking about Boomkin and BOD overall?
I think we're pretty strong on most fights. Not Shadow Priest, but we're pretty good on most fights. Plus, just the Azure gear in the raid is just insanely good for us. Basically, every head and shoulders is a decent piece, or every head and chest is a decent piece. So I think we're just going to be strong just based on the gear we can get from the raid.
What do you think the best fight for Balanced Druid is overall in BOD?
I have no idea. I just, in terms of just viability, probably just blockade, just because how good we are at running the orbs.
That makes sense. Nick, do you have any differing opinion in terms of like what fight we might be the best on?
I mean, I agree. Blockade looks like one of the best fights for us. And it looks like a very hard fight on Mythic. Potentially like a new foil avatar.
Yeah, it looks like one of the hardest
DPS
fights.
wall.
Yeah, no,
I'd say it's probably the hardest one in the raid.
Yeah.
I don't think there's like any other fight where we shine that much, but we are like in general very good for every fight.
Yeah,
for sure.
We're just a strong class right now.
Yeah, overall we are definitely a pretty strong class.
The fact that we have so much priority damage through our traits and in general is just so good.
Yeah, us being able to target swap, especially on fights like Conclave or Stormwall Blockade or Jadefire Masters to the Tiger and all that other stuff is actually really important, I think, for this tier overall.
Yeah,
even building Astral Power to kill the wall on Jaina is also pretty important as well. Just being able to...
Also, you can save a Pulsar proc for it as well, so you don't have to burn your entire Incarn.
Yeah, Pulsar lines up strangely well for a lot of these fights too, is what I've been saying. Alright, so how do we think Balanced Druid will be for progression overall? So basically, progression is typically decided by the final 3 bosses, which are Mechatork, Stormwall Blockade, and Jaina, Lady Jaina Proudmoore. So do we think Balanced Druid is good on these final 3 bosses? So for Mechatork, I personally think Balanced Druid this is one of the better fights for Balanced Druid, even though we might not be the best damage-wise due to the high amounts of movement. our off healing is pretty important on that fight overall. It feels like, right? Especially during the intermissions.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Additionally, the roots seem really,
Yep.
really.
You're gonna want one just for Emmy.
Yeah, Matt.
If they change disconnects, I think it's probably a pretty easy fight.
Okay, why is that a thing? Okay, so
it hasn't been
I
consistent
know.
with us. We had like 2 people get DC'd all night, and they were rooted every time.
yeah, no, it's
Like-
it's strangely inconsistent for us too, because like
Yeah.
so
It's
basically
also
what they're talking about is there's a bug right now. If you jump in a rooted robot, occasionally, like really infrequently, you get disconnected, and it's I don't know why it happens.
it's not only roots, it's like movement cooldowns too. Whenever you're faster than you should be, you get DC2 sometimes.
That's
Or
okay.
like if you glide into it as a demon hunter.
That's really
Yeah.
weird. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so for Mechatorque, we all think that we're pretty good, have some unique utility in the form of mass entangling and a lot of off healing, so we'll be decent for Mechatorque.
Yeah.
Obviously,
Mhm.
Stormwall Blockade with multi-target priority damage, really good at running the orb with Tiger Dash. That's super helpful. Lady Jaina Proudmoore, what do you guys think about Jaina? Nick, you can start with that.
Alright, so it's no secret that there's a lot of ticking damage going on in the later phases, which makes us, like, I would say pretty good due to our off healing. And I think it's like a more heavy healing fight, but that's just like speculations, right?
Mhm.
But the fact that we have so much priority damage, like, it's just so good to burst down things. And you can always Starfall for like the ice blocks later on,
Yeah.
which is also pretty good.
Do you think Starfall in the
Um,
ice blocks is actually the correct move as opposed to Star Surging low target ice blocks?
It depends. Like, it
Depends.
depends on the situation. If you have like 6 ice blocks and they're all full HP, I would just Starfall.
Mm-hmm.
But if you have like your Demon Hunter in an ice block and it's at 20% or something, then you just want to get him out.
Yeah. If you're like chaining one after another, then you just start
Yeah,
searching
exactly.
or whatever. But you're just having out those situations where you just get 10 at one time.
Also, of course, the big ass wall, you know,
Yeah, the ice wall were
yeah.
very good at killing the
Just
ice wall, like I was
like-
saying.
popping your cooldowns with streaking stars and like probably not Covenant, but whatever else you have. You just do so much damage to it.
Mhm.
It's insane.
Streaking stars this tier is very, very important for us overall.
The fact
Yeah.
that it does like as much damage as your Star Search is
It's so
absurd.
good.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude, it's so good this tier. Priority target wise, with Pulsar and everything, just balanced it with it's just so much priority target damage because all the other it's very similar in terms of like Destro Lock. It's very similar in terms of like we have a dot, we do insane priority target damage, and then we're able to target swap pretty liberally without any issues really. So it's
Yeah.
really good class.
Mm-hmm.
So in terms of comparing us to other classes, so there was recently a tuning pass. Are we surprised in regards to any of the classes that did not get nerfed? So basically, Priest Affliction Lock, Destruction Lock, and Balanced Druid are, I think it's pretty safe to say, significantly ahead of other classes.
Yeah.
Additionally, they're all ranged in a ranged heavy tier. I would say Jaina is kind of melee friendly, but I think the rest of the instance is really ranged favored.
It's also all multi-data, so.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there's a lot of very multi-dot favorite fights.
Yeah, there are a lot of multi-dot favorite fights for sure. So are we surprised that these classes didn't see some kind of nerf at all? Sornan, would you like to start?
I expected S-Priest to get some sort of nerf. I didn't expect them to get destroyed because they were just so bad in Aldir they were going to at least be a viable class. But I expected to see like a 3% nerf, but I just kind of surprised I didn't see it. But overall, they never nerf Warlock, so I wasn't expecting that.
Yo, the God Purple class always reigns
Yeah.
supreme. I don't
Purple
understand.
Wizard, what's your
Choice.
Is it that they have 3 specs, or is it that they just never get nerfed? Because I feel like Affliction was like head and shoulders above every other class in Legion, and they always just get like 5% corruption damage nerf, and I'm just like, what is this nerf?
Well, it's the same thing in Aldir. Like us and Method, we were like, yeah, we're not going to level a bunch of Warlocks because they're going to get nerfed for Aldir. They're so ridiculously ahead, and they just didn't.
Yeah, no, it's like they have all this burst, and then they have like, yeah, for sure.
I think that's actually what's going to happen in BOD. Like, we're all expecting nerfs, but
Shadow
there's
Freeze,
just
and they're just
nothing.
not going to get nerfed. It's going to.
We
Hey.
are just getting passed on and
I'm not
destroying
complaining
this tier.
because
I
Balanced
think-
Druid is way more than viable, so I'm
for sure.
not complaining. Balanced Druid is by far one of the better specs for this tier.
I hope there's some nerfs. Especially like some of those raid traits look so bad, like Bonded Soul and
Bonded Soul, is
Bonded Soul is bad.
trash.
Seductive Power.
Oh man, yeah.
I ran that thing for 4 bosses. I saw Bronze Zombie twice.
Yeah, it's just like I don't know, man.
Yeah, they're all.
not
everything
good.
except for Treacherous Covenant is not good.
Like, I ran Seductive Power for the first 2 bosses I ran, and I forgot I had it.
Why is
I
it?
never saw them.
Why are they so bad? I just don't get it.
I don't know.
I don't know.
You just can't.
I hope there's some nerfs, but who knows? Maybe they're just passing us on.
I don't know. Do you think Balanced Druid is stackable?
No, not at all.
I think you're gonna run 2 on Blockade and at least 1
Yeah,
on...
I don't think you want more than 2 though.
Yeah,
Like,
no
at
more
max-
than 2,
at max
yeah.
3, but that's it.
You don't think the off healing is warranting stacking at all?
I don't
No.
think so.
So you think this is a 4 Destro lock tier?
It's a 5 Shadow Priest here.
I don't think you stack
I think
like
Destro lock
any
is
of
better than
those
Shadow
daughters
Priest.
at all. I wouldn't stack Warlock. I wouldn't stack like
Yeah.
Shadow Priest. I wouldn't stack Boomies either.
So do you think anything is even stackable, or do you think you want to balance raid comp this tier?
Rogues are.
You think Rogue
Crooks.
is Rogue even that much better than all the other classes?
Well, it's more about what you need for certain bosses, right?
Immunities.
Looking at Jaina, I'm
immunities.
scared again.
Also mages.
So so that's gonna make
mages too.
Mages, Death Knight, Rogue all really good.
Yep.
Because Death Knight can IBF and AMS, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's interesting for sure. So,
That's also where we shine compared to Shadow Priest. We are like super tanky, right?
dude. Could if it's taking damage, I cannot die. Insert Cahoon phase 3
Exactly.
here. I'm literally just like every single pull. I'm literally the last one alive because I'm just unkillable to ticking dot damage because I just heal myself for a ton.
Mm-hmm.
Because Ysera's gift is insane. If you have any defensive trait, you're literally just unkillable. Plus, plus if you Swiftmend or Wild Growth yourself on cooldown, you are literally just full HP just the whole entire time.
Ysera's gift is so strong on taking dot fights, it actually does more than Bear Form than the Bear Affinity does
It's
by
like
itself.
you need like 18,000 damage a second for Bear Form 6% passive mitigation to mitigate more than Ysera's gift healing. 18,000.
And you're doing no damage in the meantime as a beer, so
No. It's talking about the thick
Like
passive.
just like the passives.
Yeah, yeah,
Just the
yeah.
passives
Okay.
on it.
Oh, yeah.
Ysera's is just better than the 6% damage.
Yeah.
I was thinking about
Ysera's
Frenzy,
is
but yeah,
literally
you're
better
right.
than thick hide passive for sure.
yeah. I would never take Guardian Affinity on any of those fights.
Yeah,
Guardian
I don't even see a
Affinity's-
reason to right now.
Yeah, Guardian Affinity is only good if it stops you from getting one hit from like
Mhm.
full HP and stuff.
Yeah,
Not
this
even-
is none of that in this fight. Or
Yeah.
none of that in this raid.
I mean, you can probably tank one of those Mechatalk orbs, and you wouldn't have died in that clip.
dude. I don't know what to say. So
Right,
basically,
we're linking that clip in the description, just so you know.
Oh, am I? Okay.
Yeah,
whatever.
you are.
So basically, there's a Mechator clip of whenever we were doing it. I get hit by the Buster shot. Like the boss is like far across the room. He Buster shots like all the way across, nails me through the rubble. I get knocked up just high enough because I have the bomb or whatever, so I'm behind the rubble. I get knocked up just high enough. I zap my whole raid and then instantly die. And I'm just like, huh. It's just like one of those moments where it's like I don't even know what to do there. It's
Yeah.
just one of those things. Okay, yeah, that's unfortunate, I guess. All right, so we got Reaping, a new seasonal affix. Sornan, have you done any Reaping keys yet?
Nope.
All right, so this is just me talking. So basically, Reaping got changed. It's no longer infested. Thank God.
Thank God.
Yeah, get me out. So basically, Reaping summons Buon Zombies. Here we go. Every 20% of trash, forcing you to kill off these mobs, or you can range them. They have like a 45-yard tether. And so basically, this is a very good change for Mythic Plus overall. Not only for Balanced Druid, because some of these Buon Zombies actually have casts that need to be interrupted, but it's also good for Force of Nature, and it's good for burst DPS overall, which we don't have very much of, but we're still good for Solar Beam and Trents. Basically, Balanced Druid will still be one of the top 3 specs due to Solar Beam and Trance. Make sure that you're pulling around those. Lively Spirit. Anybody want to talk about Lively Spirit in Mythic Plus?
Oh no. I'm
So-
still not a fan of it, but it's
That trait.
good.
So
really good.
the issue you end up having is Treacherous Covenant is also very good, but if you want to play ×3 Treacherous Covenant, you have to play 1 Lively Spirit trait generally, which forces you to want to play 3 Lively Spirit traits. So you can play 2 Treacherous Covenant. I think you can play 1 or 2 Treacherous Covenant and 3 Lively Spirit and then be okay. So you should be buying some pieces if you're really focusing on Mythic Plus with Residium that have Lively Spirit on them. So that's Owner. Power of the Moon is also pretty good for Mythic Plus, just one of those traits though. So do note that. Alright, and so we got some new viewer topics taken from the Moonkin Monthly Discord. The first off is what to focus on or actively look to do consistently during progression. So I'll start. So first off, I think you should be really looking at cooldown timings overall. I think understanding when you're using your cooldowns is super, super important. A good example of this is Jaina Proudmoore. So basically, your first incarn is you're basically incarning on cooldown, but the reason as to why is subjective. So basically, first incarn on the boat is just so you don't waste a use, right? Second incarn right as you come into the phase off the ice bridge after you find Jaina in the darkness. It's important because then your incarn after that will be during the wall. Generally speaking, depending on when you push, it will be close-ish to the wall, right? Which is really important because that wall does have a ton of health, and Balanced Druid with Streaking Stars being able to nuke down the wall is kind of important. So focusing on when you use your cooldowns is one of the most important things, especially for a Balanced Druid. Sornan, do you have any other tips or what you should be looking for as a Moonkin?
One of the biggest things is movement, especially like Rastakhan is a good example of this with the orbs in the final phase. It is going to be really hard to be able to cast as a ranged player if an orbs. You have to actually plan your movement out very well. Be very mindful of where you're standing.
And additionally speaking on that, Warrior of Elune might be a good choice if you're struggling with movement. Even if we recommend Nature's Balance, it might not always be the best option for everybody. If you're really struggling with movement, if Warrior of Elune is going to save you 1 or 2 casts a fight, it's better than Nature's Balance damage overall. Because missing casts is actually a pretty steep margin for drop-off, especially with Warrior of Elune and Nature's Balance being so close damage-wise. And then, Nick, you got anything to say about this?
I think overall, just learning the fights and then like improving on that, like as you said, movement, cooldown usage, maybe defensive plays, how you can help your raid. It's not always about damage. Most of those fights don't have like any DPS requirements or not heavy DPS requirements. So just learning the fights and like knowing what's the best is probably helping you.
So defensively. So defensively, that's something very good that you brought up. Defensively, Balanced Druid has a lot of tools in its kit to be able to survive defensively. So Barkskin, a lot of off healing, like we were talking about a second ago. Basically, you can use Barkskin on cooldown and be fine. Obviously, while that's not recommended, using it on cooldown is better than not using it at all. So just kind of throw it out there, pretty consistently. Using Health Stones and Health Tonics. Also very important. Coastal Healing Potion and Health Stone are not on the same cooldown, just to denote. Just make sure that everybody knows that. And then off healing, obviously, if you're struggling with not enough dot damage, with a lot of ticking damage or anything, throw out a Wild Growth. If you're getting really low, don't feel bad about Swift Mending yourself. Living is always better damage than dying, so just don't die.
Oh.
I know. Words of the wise.
Dying is not good, no.
You're dead, you do 0 DPS. It's crazy.
Yeah.
How much do you guys end up healing on progression? Because I feel like I end up healing a pretty decent amount.
It really depends on the fight, and if I press my healing spells that often on like, I don't spam Wild Growth on like cooldown.
You're not goosey
unless it's like Goon, right? So I don't.
Yeah, I feel like
if I need
like
to heal, I'm going to heal, but else I'm just DPSing most of the time.
Yeah.
Unless my healers like actually ask me to like off heal.
Yeah. Especially now that we're actually a decent class.
Yeah.
Dude, it's so weird that we're good at off healing. It feels super awkward to be like it's like relevant amounts of off healing too for no reason.
Yeah.
Alright, and then we also wanted to explain the Raidbots Droptimizer. I'm gonna pull that up on screen. Nick, do you want to talk about the Raidbots Droptimizer?
Okay, so basically it seems like all of the drops from a boss, or from all the bosses from the raid, and compares them to your current gear. But it only sims one at each time, so it's like it's not a biz list, and it's more of like what is best to coin and where can you get the best value out of all those bosses, and which items you should look for. So take that like as a note, because a lot of people tend to take it as a biz list and just like sim you once and like just never do it again. That's not what it's used for.
Yeah, like it said, just kind of think about what pieces you should be needing, what to coin, where to coin stuff. It'll tell you about trinket value, azurite value, what you should be kind of looking to coin, not necessarily bis, right?
Yeah. It's not a biz list, not at all.
Well, because unfortunately Titan Forging is in the game, and you have to take everything with a grain of salt.
And sockets are also like pretty huge.
Are sockets that important this tier too? Because in Uldir,
Yes.
sockets were worth
on certain items, yes.
Okay.
Yeah, like rings, back wrists, typical.
So the usual, yeah. The usual low stat value stuff. I mean, weapons are always going to be super important item level wise.
It's also because we're a class that only wants one Arcanic Pulsar, so just the drop demise is only going to be accurate for Azure pieces for that slot.
It's
because
also not very accurate for Azure pieces at all.
Yeah,
because you can't decide what like traits you're simming.
Correct.
So it's going to tell you to pick an Arcanic Pulsar off every single boss. So it's going to like give you priority 1, 2, and 3, and it's going to be like all Arcanic Pulsar pieces. So kind of keep that in mind whenever you're like looking at this, being like, why is it telling me that I want this that bad? It's like, it's not that great. So kind of take that again with a grain of salt and be kind of conscientious of something like that. Alrighty. So do you guys want to talk about traits at all? Treacherous Covenant, Arcanic Pulsar, Streaking Stars. Anything else about those?
Covenant might be a trap on some fights, like Jaina, as said, taking damage. You probably don't want to use it at all. Well, especially on progression.
So as a balance druid, is there really a drawback? Because you can always heal yourself up.
It's just scary.
That's just scary.
If you tick for like 25k, it's very scary. You might get hit by something, you might drop below like the threshold, and then you might die.
20%?
I mean, the big issue is there's just no other good traits in the raid. Like, either that or there's a couple of Dawning Sun pieces.
Ain't nothing wrong with Dawning Sun.
I mean, outside of, but Treacherous Covenant is the only good raid trait, so.
Yeah.
Let's just hope it gets drawn back a bit and the other one gets like a slightly buff.
Do you guys expect
if they buff Bonded Souls, that'd be huge.
I hope it gets nerfed, because that would actually like somehow buff us, because we don't rely too much on it and other classes do, which I don't mind, to be honest.
So what do we actually think about the traits in traits in Uldir, or not in Uldir. Traits in Uldir were actually really bad. Traits in Battle of Dazar'alor are very, very strong for us. Do we think that we're going to scale super hard? So obviously we have like week 1 statistics, and we can look at those if we want to, but I don't know if they're super relevant.
I don't think so. They're not really accurate at all.
No.
Yeah. I think Balance Druid actually scales super hard with BOD traits. Just having everything available from the raid is super, super important. Basically, Streaking Stars is the same value of Treacherous Covenant after you have an Arcanic Pulsar, and you're able to get 3 Streaking Stars in Arcanic Pulsar from raid really, really easily. There's basically
almost every piece has a streaking trait on it. It's insanely good.
Yeah, you're really only limited by Master Singing Spalders off Jadefire Masters.
Yep.
That's the only piece that you're limited by, because there's only one shoulder piece we can really wear from raid, whereas we can wear 2 chests, Gronk and Stormwall Blockade, and then we can wear 2 hats. Oh, no. Gronk and Mechatork have the chests, and then Stormwall Blockade and Champion of the Light have the hats, right? Yeah.
Yes.
So being able to...
I'm pretty sure Mythic Plus has some good shoulders, right?
Yeah.
So
I have no idea.
Aren't there like these streaking whatever shoulders? Out of Shrine?
There's a decent pair of shoulders. Yeah, Shrine has a decent pair.
So you're not really limited to the ones from who is it?
Yeah.
Yeah. If you don't get them, you at least can get some good ones out of Mythic Plus through the vendor.
Through the Residium, yeah.
Yeah.
Additionally, buying 370 pieces in other news with 5th ring traits is better than 385 without The extra ring? Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, you need to buy them. Use clear mythic zeros.
Yeah, exactly. Clear mythic zeros, get your title core, get your chalk.
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 Chalk. Alright. Are you guys excited to raid this next tier? What do you think about the tier overall?
It looks really good compared to earlier.
Yeah.
I don't know. The bosses, they all look pretty good besides Megatorg. I hate Megatorg.
You actually
I don't know why I can't stand this boss. It's so annoying. It's frustrating to DC. Might be better whenever there's like no disconnects, but I don't know. I can't stand it.
So
everything else looks like really good.
So it seems like the Mechatorg specifically, they tried to make something that was so unique, and I feel like they succeeded. But do you think that they went too far?
Yeah, especially because you kind of require voice comms, which on a like casual perspective isn't really that nice, because plugging the raid is very hard if you end up at Mechatorg and you just can't clear it because no one like knows how to communicate those robots.
Well, there's a really obvious nerf at some point where anybody can call out. Like,
yeah,
anybody can see the color, right?
But until then, it's just annoying.
Is it?
I'm not going to pugging heroic at all.
Well, I don't pug heroic either, so I don't know the last time I pugged.
I don't want to.
I pugged weekly Arguses for the upgrade.
Oh hell yeah!
Oh, I did those too. That's great.
The trinket upgrade, yeah, dude. I
did those too.
I would pug it on reset depending on when I had class and stuff. I remember that. That was fun. Oh man, Soren, what do you think about the new raid? Do you think it's better than Uldir? Do you think it's better than Antorus?
Yeah, I think it's better than Uldir. There is a lot of very unique fights, which unique fights tend to not be very difficult. So I don't think a lot of the fights are going to be that hard. The only strongly difficult fight looks like it's going to be Blockade, but maybe Mechatorg.
I think Jaina could also be pretty hard if it's.
But Janus is going to be tuning. Like none of the mechanics are that difficult in the fight. It's going to be how hard.
Who knows? Maybe there's like a secret mythic phase.
Yeah, unless there's a secret mythic phase. Oh.
I mean,
where she doesn't bubble hearth.
We haven't seen any cutscenes, right? At the end of Jaina, I haven't killed it, so.
Yeah, it's no cutscene.
There's no
maybe.
cutscene.
Who
She
knows?
runs away.
Yeah, like fights like Opulence are super interesting fights, but they're not going to be that hard. They're super cool fights.
I think Opulence is actually a really, really fun fight.
It should be a lot of fun.
Okay, so it feels bad as Balance Druid because I don't like moving that much, and moving that much chasing down the robots is pretty bad. But it is a fun fight.
Yeah.
Do you think it's better than Antorus?
Nope.
No.
I loved Antorus. I don't know. I really like Agrima,
Argus. Is a pretty good raid.
And I don't know. I think it's certainly really good, but it's not as good.
Okay, better or worse than
I think it's missing like a full-on AoE fight where we actually starfall, you know? Cause right now you only really starfall on Opulence.
Yeah. Can we go ahead
to hit those ads?
Buff Starfall?
Yeah.
Why is that a thing? Okay, that honestly just tilts me to no end. The fact that we don't Starfall until 5 targets. I'm just like, it's so frustrating for no reason. Why? Like, okay, so I understand that we were good in Antorus and we had 2 target Starfall, but why are we getting this punitive balancing for stuff that happened last year, where we Starfall 5 targets and are bad at AoE? We're literally Antorus Priest with good utility. We're literally Antorus Priest. Like,
it's really bad.
Yeah, I don't know. That's not great, but it'll be fine. Anything else you guys want to talk about? We got time, but
I need to raid in like 40 minutes. I'm hyped.
40 minutes. Oh yeah.
Well, we're finishing our heroic splits, so looking forward to that.
All right. Nice. On that, I think we're gonna call it. Soranan, where can we find you?
Chithkihira Soranan. That's it.
Twitch.tv/Soranan, spelled incorrectly.
Yes, with an E instead of an A.
Yep. And that will be linked in the description. Nicholas, where can we find you, brother?
Twitch.tv/NickDruid and in the Dreamgrove Discord mostly.
But you're not streaming Prague, right? Only Soranan is streaming his.
No, but I'm going to stream Farm, so look forward to that.
Sornan is streaming day rating.
Oh, hell
on
yeah.
Reset, right? Are you guys starting on Reset? All right, yeah. So
Yeah.
definitely check that out. That'll be owner. All right, I'll be found in London casting the Method World First Race. Make sure to check that out. Send memes in Twitch chat whenever I'm on stream, so I have stuff to read. That will be fun. I'm going to enjoy that.
We all will.
Dude, it's
I'm
gonna
looking
be.
forward to
I
it.
am so hyped. Honestly,
Yeah,
I'm so.
it's really, really nice.
Oh,
Pretty cool.
So much fun. All right, cool. We are done there. Thanks, guys, for tuning in. I appreciate it. I'll see you next month. Later, guys.
Later.